Well, those cars were definitely going above the speed limit. Someone should give them a ticket. What's up, movie people? I hope you're doing well. I just got back from the Regal Mystery screening, and I got to see Gran Turismo 2.5 weeks early. And let me just say that this one surprised me so much, and I'm so happy that a movie can surprise me this much, because I watched the first trailer. I reacted to it on this. I thought it was okay, and the more I saw, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to watch the Gran Turismo trailer anymore. I just got sick of it. So the second trailer came out like a week ago. I didn't even care to watch it. I didn't care to watch a second trailer for this movie because I really left my brain. I was tired of seeing it. But I went in this screening. I knew it was happening. And color me surprised. This is probably the most surprising movie of the year. And I know this movie probably won't do so well at the box office, but you guys gotta go see this movie on the biggest screen possible. It's just such a thrill ride. It's insane. Overall, the plot of this movie follows Jan, a gamer who plays Gran Turismo, and he has the chance to become a professional race car driver through a GT academy. And that's basically the basic plot synopsis of this movie. That's what you need to go into it, and it's based on a true story. How cool is that? It's really cool that it's based on a true story, that someone actually did that, and they gave a gamer a chance to compete. You know, I think that's awesome. And the real guy Jan in this movie that it's based off of, he was the stunt driver for the actor who played Jan. That's very cool. They said that in the end credits. I think that's awesome. Like I was not expecting this movie to be as great as it was, but man, I had a great time. My audience, my theater had a great time. There's some nail-biting moments in this one. You don't want to get spoiled when you see this movie, but I just had a great time. I'm so happy I saw this one early, because now I just want to go back and watch it again and again when it comes out officially. Well, August 11th, I think, is when it comes out. Our cast here, Archie Madikwe, he plays Jan, our main character. I haven't seen this guy in anything else besides this film, so he was kind of new in my eyes, and I thought he did a great job, especially in those emotional moments, which we'll get to. But we also have David Harbour in this. We all know David Harbour. He played Santa Claus Violent Night, but also main star of Stranger Things. David Harbour is, of course, excellent in here. He's excellent in everything that he does. I love seeing David Harbour in like a movie every year. I feel like that's what's going to happen now. We're going to see him in at least one movie a year, and I'm not complaining. I think he does a great job in everything that he does. And we also have our Orlando Bloom in this one, our star from Lord of the Rings, Hobbit. Every time I see Orlando Bloom in a movie after I watch Lord of the Rings and Hobbit, it just makes me want to go watch those movies again. Maybe I will after I watch this movie, because I just want to watch them again. But you know, I haven't seen Orlando Bloom in a movie in a while, at least one that I remember recently. So this is actually a fresh take. I haven't seen him in a while, and I thought he was great in this one. He has a smaller role than Archie and David, but you know, he was still there for most of the scenes. Most of the beginning of the movie, he was there for a lot of that. But I feel like those three are a main trio of the movie, and they are so great in this movie. They really are awesome in this movie. Neil Blomkamp directed this movie. He directed District 9, movies like that, Chappie. I'm a big fan of District 9. Haven't watched Chappie in a while, but he really did great on this film. I haven't seen him direct a film in many years. It's been many years, I think, since he directed one. I think he did a great job at directing this movie. I want to talk about the racing scenes, because that's what this movie is. It's a racing movie. You know, we start out in the beginning with just him racing on the video game Gran Turismo in the simulation, and then they go to the real racetracks, real racing scenes, and I really did love how those were shot. Kind of reminded me of Ford v Ferrari. Ford v Ferrari was more realistic, but this one brings kind of like the simulator aspect to the real life races, which I really enjoyed. I really love the angles of the cars, how they move, the drone shot. There's the drone that's used in the film many times, but I like how they used it, just to overall scan the track. And I loved how they freeze framed over the track to tell you what lap you're on, tell you what place Archie's in the whole film. So I thought that all the racing scenes were done pretty well. I enjoyed them a lot. Sometimes it's hard to make a racing scene come together very well. You know, it's hard to make it exhilarating for the audience, but I was in it, especially one of the scenes. The middle of the movie, very, very great racing scene and what happens during it. But it kind of builds to the emotions of the movie. I feel like the emotions of the movie were kind of lacking in that first third of the movie. But once you get halfway, the emotions are at an all-time high when he gets into a big wreck in the middle of the movie. And then you have the emotions in the third act. those emotions were very high. I loved the middle part of the movie when the emotions were at extreme high after a big crash that goes down in the movie. And there's a lot of there's some music behind the scene. I really did enjoy that. And Archie and David Harbour's acting in those scenes was excellent. I really did. I liked how they slowed it down for that moment. I think it really worked because the film is actually pretty fast. We'll get to that in a second, but I think the script of this movie, pretty simplistic script for this kind of movie. You know, I'm not expecting a big script for it, but as I said, those heartwarming scenes had some very, very good parts in the script in it. So I think the script did pretty well along with the emotion, so it kind of builds off that. But as I said, the pace of this movie, it's about 2 hours and 15 minutes with credits. I think it was paced excellently because the first act is really fast, especially that third act. I think the first act is really fast to get you into the, feel of the racing simulator, but also get you into that main story of him becoming a real life racer. But then they slow it down in the middle of the film because you had that really big emotional moment hit. I really appreciated that they slowed it down because it was moving really fast for me at certain points, and I just didn't like that a lot. I think it was moving way too fast in that first act. I love how they slowed it down though. Third act moves, I don't know, it moves at a perfect pace, and I think the third act, especially when you hit that climax, the emotions are just at an all-time high. You're just cheering them on through the whole end of the movie. So I think the pace was pretty brilliant during this movie. Overall, though, Gran Turismo, what a great surprise. My number one surprise movie of the year. Not my number one movie of the year. It's not that great, but I think this movie is awesome. A really fun movie to go with your friends to. I feel like anyone can enjoy this movie. I'm a big gamer, but I really haven't played a Gran Turismo game in the longest time. But still, I had a lot of fun with this movie, and I think a lot of other people will. It has great emotions, great cast in this movie, great acting, great racing scenes overall, and it's just such a cool, interesting, true story that it's based off of. So I'm going to give Gran Turismo, a true story, an 8.2 out of 10. Yeah, that surprised me too. An 8.2 for this movie that I wasn't anticipating at all. But go see this movie, y'all. You're going to like it. If you don't like it, come and hate my video, but I think you all are going to have some fun with this movie. Overall, that's my review of Gran Turismo. Make sure to leave a like on this video. It helps out a lot. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.